the significant face of the South, actor par excellence. We all know him as Ballala Deva from Baahubali. Joining us, Rana, thank you. You've broken all our hearts with your wedding announcement here. It was adorable, super cute.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the roka
Thank you.
and all the ceremonies that took place.
Thank you. Thank you
Any
very much.
word on the wedding date?
Well, I'm getting married on the 8th of August, so it's right
Okay.
around the corner. Yes.
Awesome. So you've been
Sure.
promoting OTT quite much. Take us through your, flair on OTT platforms. You've also produced a couple of projects on Netflix. Your latest
Yes.
being Krishna with his Leelas.
Yeah, Krishna and his Leela. So that's a
Yeah.
film that released 2 weeks ago on Netflix and uh, was very, very successful, very positive. It's been on the top lists for a while now. It's also on a regional platform called AHA. So I think for a film of that nature, for talent that's very new or has done probably the first to second film, I think getting a national wide reach on OTT, I think has been something quite phenomenal. The second thing that I'm doing is actually I have an animation show which will also be on one of the OTTs very soon. It's a show, it's a talk show called Why Are You? And yeah, I think today is, I mean, for the next 12 months in realistic timelines, I think I don't think there's any big project that we can start very quickly or get complete very quickly. So I think the priority has shifted to what we can do, and as actors or producers, we have a bunch of other skills. We have different ways of storytelling, and I think we'll find the best way. And I think animation is something I've been fond of when I was 16 years old. It was my first job before I was an actor. So, well, there it is. I just put two and two together, and that's the beginning of the show. That's Why Are You?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, your Netflix production there, Krishna and his Leelas, it came in with a lot of appreciation, at the same time, that much flack that it received for,
Ye-
hurting religious sentiments. What's your take on that? As much as people say that this could be a modern take on Krishna and Leela.
See, these are general names, right? Like, see, I have like 10 other Telugu films that are titled Krishna, and it's just that the OTT has been much bigger in terms of what it is. OTT has been the reach of an OTT has been so much larger for films like these. It's just that they got noticed. Now, if you watch the film, it's no reference harming anybody or anything. And I'd never be somebody who does that, because I mean, I'm probably the biggest fan of mythology and storytelling in mythology, and I do far more than what anyone's doing in the mythology space. So I'd be no one to ever hurt any of these sentiments, or any product that I make will never hurt any sentiments like that.
Great. All right. So when we speak of OTT platforms, it really shifts the focus from individual stars who are looked up as demigods by fans at large, especially in the South industries. They go to theaters, watch a film, wait for weeks, collect that kind of money to go splurge it on one film at the nearest theater, only to watch their favorite star on the big screen, right? But OTT shifts that focus to several other talented artists, and then now you have too many of them that you look up to. Do you think that that shift is going to be detrimental to commercial films at large?
Well, see, first it's going to be very, very different, right? It's two different functionalities. Uh, and definitely there'll be a change. Every time there is a new format of viewing or telling stories, we will always find different types of talent addressing that. And I think the OTT is probably the most democratic that one can get, or one can ask for an actor or a filmmaker, I think. You can tell whatever story you want in the manner that you want it, in the length that you want it. So I think it gives a flexibility first for talent and filmmakers. So I think that's here to stay, and there'll be a lot of interesting content we'll get to see on OTT. Then, in terms of just going large spectacle, in terms of making these big spectacle-based films, I think theatrical will always be that exit, because that's a space where it's beyond a film, it becomes an experience there. So I think you'll start seeing a lot more spectacle-based film, a lot more big star-based films being in the theaters, and there'll be different content that's more drama-driven, that has characters that you want to enjoy for a longer period of time than in a feature film. I think that's where the OTT will go. So the content will kind of derive where each of these things go, and
Yeah,
the
good
way you,
content, great viewership. That's yeah, basically
correct,
content to be the driving factor. Very
yeah.
few actors, Rana, who've actually essayed the role of a hero and a villain and who've been accepted so wholeheartedly.
Right.
You've played both those characters. What are you more comfortable with? Even Bollywood, I mean, they look at you as this giant, big, handsome villain.
Well, see, one is, I mean, a role is picked up for the role, right? It never
Do you
was.
enjoy playing those roles? Because it suits your personality.
100%, 100%. Being good comes with restrictions. Being bad is you can do whatever you want, and I think that's the part of playing a bad guy that I like. Everything that I can't do in real life that I'll be punished or jailed for, I think I get to do it in the movies. I think so. It's a good way to live an alter ego.
On knowing, I mean, you've been a very vocal, said it time and again that, you know, nothing should stop you in life. You yourself have slightly blurred vision on one eye, your right eye is slightly weaker, but you still pulled through, and the success that you... What is that? Tell us about it. So this boy actually wants to know, how do you do stunts? How is it possible with that? You know, that's just giving us that kind of motivation.
Trust me, the eye is
Yeah,
the
to take us
last.
through.
Eye is the last thing that bothers me when I do a stunt. There are a lot more broken bones. There are a lot more damaged parts in the body that that I've faced over years, and the eye has been the least of the problems.